So we'll now do the second part of Chapter 9, the key words of the Gospel Passion. One of the first things is to realize that in the history of literature, the first time we really hear the victim's voice, the first time the victim is given voice is in the Psalms. We hear the victim crying out against the people that are opposed to him or her, the people that are trying to hurt them or kill them. The Psalms restore the victim his humanity and reveal the arbitrary nature of the violence that strikes him. That's a quote from Raimund Schwager, a Austrian Jesuit who wrote a book, Do We Need Scapegoats, after reading René Girard's work. The Psalms do not join, the victim does not join in his own condemnation, which often happens, and Girard points out it even happens with Oedipus. Oedipus agrees that he has to be eliminated from the society. And he says at the bottom of page 104 and top of 103, we never hesitate between the Bible and mythology, meaning we always go with mythology. And he has this line that I'll let you read at the top of page 105, but it's the real resistance on the part of most modern day Westerners to really take the Bible seriously. And Girard's trying to go against that. The causality of magic is part of mythology. It's this believing in magical causes. And so when that causality gets denied, it is of the utmost importance, says Girard. And so he says, this line where Pilate says, I don't find any reason, I don't find any cause, I find no cause to condemn Jesus. This is the denial of magic causality. It's very important. Okay. Now, he also raises the question, well, doesn't this happen in other cases, where victims get rehabilitated? And he says, in these other cases, the victim is rehabilitated by one group in opposition to another. Okay? And so it's keeping the one group, and he uses Socrates as an example where the philosophers are all saying, we're not part of this. We were not part of the persecution. And it somehow keeps people, it confirms them in their own innocence. It keeps them somehow separate from this. With Christ, everyone is part of the persecution, including his own disciples. And that's the importance of including the disciples. And then Girard says, you've got the religious leaders, the politicians, and the crowd. But the thing that really matters here is the crowd. The crowd is what pushes someone like Pontius Pilate to condemn him, although Pontius Pilate didn't really want to do it. And Girard says it's interesting because as a politician, Jesus wasn't important to this guy, so he wouldn't have had any real qualms in throwing him to the crowd to be killed. But John tries to strengthen it by making his wife come in and say, I had a dream last night about this man, and don't, stay out of this. And that the wife would have been the one closest to Pilate, would have been the one who could appeal to him in this quasi-religious way of appealing. I had a dream and everything. And still it doesn't work. It's not enough to go against the crowd. Now, he says here that what we need to do is to follow the question that has been guided us all along the way. Okay? And what is that question? That question is, what in this text can be traced to a representation of persecutor from the standpoint of persecutors and to its root in unanimous violence? When we're looking at Guillaume de Mouchot's text from the medieval period, that's the question we're asking. When we start to look at myths, that's the question that we're asking. And when we get to the Gospels, what we see is it's completely different. Okay? All of this is subverted in the Gospels. Okay? And it's a conscious desire to subvert the whole mythology of persecution and to make the reader, that is you, aware. Okay? Again, that's what I think Christianity has to offer to everyone. Whether you believe in this or not, it can make you aware of the mythology of persecution. Okay? And it can subvert it from within. Okay? And so this takes us to the importance of the passion. What is the importance of the passion? The importance of the passion consists in the failure of the persecutor's representation of persecution and the exemplary force of that failure. So you have everyone gathered together, everybody's saying this guy's bad, we've got to get rid of this guy, he needs to die. It didn't work. Okay, and there is this exemplary force. Jesus becomes an example for us to look at other persecutions. And that what it enables us to look at the text from the Middle Ages and to say, they're just persecuting the Jews. The Jews didn't poison the water. They did succeed in killing Jesus, but they did not succeed in imposing their viewpoint or the viewpoint of the myth. So on the level of significance, on the level of meaning, it fails and something new happens. The memory of Jesus' death teaches us how to recognize the persecutor's account of persecution and to reject them. Okay? And it's real important. It's this educational thing. And that's why I think it's worth it for us to study it, because it's what lies behind this ability to read text of persecution. And we can make this even more conscious. We can do this even better. It's a liberation. It's free. People learn to demystify the quasi-mythologies of their own history. So our own history have all these mythological elements. We learn to demystify that and then to demolish all the myths. Okay? The persecutor's perception is finally defeated. Okay? Now, the important thing here is this isn't simply turning the tables and saying, oh, look, now the persecutors are bad. No. The Gospels are not trying to blame the Jews or to blame the Romans or to blame any other group. They want to blame everybody. They want to blame everyone, okay, including us, okay? And that is where the freedom comes in. So returning to the scapegoat mechanism that we've been talking about all these weeks, it's revealed by the Gospels. It's revealed to work even in us. And it does have an unconscious nature, because in the Gospels, Jesus says, Father, forgive them. They do not know what they are doing. And Gerard wants to say, this isn't just Jesus being nice, or this isn't Jesus looking for an excuse about, I want to forgive these people, but, so, I guess they didn't know what they were doing. No, it's humans, when they are gathered together by their scapegoat, don't know what they're doing. They are unaware of it. And the gospel is there to help make us aware of it. Thank you.